Hey YouTube, how's it going? Squabbles here. What I'm going to do now is show you how to modify your control stick, and we're also going to go over just some basic functionality things, questions that people tend to normally ask when it comes to modifying controllers. Most of the information I'm giving you is universal, so if you have like an obedient or anything like that, I mean, it's going to still work. When it comes to the buttons, if you have like the hitbox controller, smashbox, something like that, it will still apply. But obviously what I have here and I'm working on is going to be the cross-up. Now, how do I put this in words? I would say that this video, off the top of my head, I'm going to try to keep it as short and simple as possible. But there's a lot to cover, and there's a lot of questions when it comes to things like the gates and stuff, which is what moves this. And I'm going to try to explain everything in complete enough detail to answer your questions, but then also short, sweet, simple, to the point. All right, so what you'll want to do is have a couple pair of pliers, whatever. These pliers are just kind of like, they're just there for what you feel comfortable with, and you'll see why later, but there's going to be different things that you want. So just ones that you have that you like to use normally, and I just suggest a variety so you can switch between them if you want to, because like these are going to be easier for grabbing wires and stuff. But then like the big guy I have here, when I change out my mechanical buttons, are super nice. So the other things I have obviously are different buttons, because I am actually going to be upgrading to these crowns, because they're mechanical versus the Sanwas, which comes standard in the cross-up. And I like Sanwa. I'm not saying they're bad. Okay? Back off. I like mechanicals. Then of course different switches. And then we have, let's see here, an oversized actuator and a tension spring that's higher gauged. This is what they would call a short throw. And then we also have the gate. And I will put in the description where in the videos the different segments are. But I also have a clear plexiglass screen and artwork I want to put on this, which is why I'm doing this video, is to also like show all the different things. And it's honestly one of the things I love about the Hitbox company is it's so easy to do a lot of the modifications. So first, before I forget, you also are going to want a couple of thin things if you're going to do something like replace button colors and stuff like that. And if you notice, like on the cross-up, we have the white rim, black buttons, and I'll show you how to do that on your own too. But you'll need two of these to help get the buttons off. They do sell special tools. I didn't get it. That's probably my bad. It's not super expensive. It probably would be easier, but I can make do. So I know what you're asking. You're asking, okay, so what, do I just put it over? No, if you put it over like this, when we get to all the other parts, it's going to be very difficult to swap out this lever. So the great thing with almost every single arcade stick is they come with their own box. Ooh, yay, shiny, new, pretty. We love it. Okay, now, if I make adjustments that I'm looking, is because I'm trying to pay attention to my monitor as I'm doing things, so I know that you folks can see them. So here we go. We're going to undo the screws. Yes. Unfortunately, not all modifications are fun. So you do not want to lose your screws. They're super small and annoying. And if you bought something like this, you spent a good couple $100s on your investment. You don't want to lose it. So here we go. this is what the cross-up looks like on the inside. And my hat's off to these guys. They've always done a good job as far as keeping it clean. And when I say keeping it clean, like the wires are always tight. They really are. They're just super like knitted together tight. They all flow. And they've done a better job of tightening it too. So when you're switching out buttons, the connections actually will like line up perfectly with the button, so you don't have to worry, because you have to take out every single button if you want to change the artwork. It's just how it is. And here's the gate, and then the CPU. So, all right, let's talk about the square gate and the octagonal gate that we're going to replace with. Just so you know, a little history lesson, because some people, the square gates usually tend to come with most Fightsticks as a default. Some of them I've seen will sell both, but usually this is the one that's installed. And then people who live in America and places like that, like they get a Fightstick and they get annoyed because it doesn't feel the same as an arcade. And the reason for that is because when we started having arcade cabinets here, they use things like this. So why does it feel different? Well, I'll show you if you don't know. When you try to do a fireball in a square gate, you cannot have it against the wall. Because see, when you get to the corner, it gets stuck and then you got to go back up. It's very distinct, you know, and you can get jammed here pretty easily, right? With this octagonal gate though, you won't get jammed, you just follow it along, right? The other thing people don't like with square gates is that there's no clear indicator if you're back or forward, like, you know, and in fighting games especially, if you're not holding directly back, like let's say you're like slightly up, well, you're gonna get knocked, you could get damaged or whatever. So with this, you know what direction you're in at all times. You know if you're in the corners, you know, up, down, left, right, whatever. But if you can't see, let's see, can I line up? See how much bigger the octagonal gate is? So there's more distance to cover to make your moves register, but that's fine. That's why I have a short throw. Anyways, how do we get this off? Little black tabs. You just got to kind of work it off, push the tabs in, and see, look, just push them at the same time as you're lifting up, and it'll just come on out. Right. All right. Now, to get the remainder of the Fightstick out, if you want to add the oversized actuator and everything, do you see this little C-clamp? You got to get it off. It's not too hard. They're really tight at first, but if you can just get something in there, you can do that. And that's exactly why I say to use the box so it catches everything. Because now if I go like this, see, there's the stick and everything. So, all right, that one's covered. All right, so things that I'm changing on my Fightstick is the lever. This one's too long for me. I like what they call short throws. Okay, little science for you. You know, shorter the lever, the less motion to make it pivot and touch the connections here. Okay, that's one of the things I'm changing. Other thing I'm changing is this actuator. I'm changing out what came as a standard actuator with what they call an oversized actuator. And if you see, this one's bigger, so it's easier when you put it on. Like, see how close it is to the red buttons here? That's what actually like makes your character move. Like, that's barely anything, right? As opposed to what came with it, you know, is kind of loose. Like, see, I can slide it around without touching anything. I don't like that, never have. The other thing I'm changing are the spring tensions, I'm changing the spring. The spring, it has less resistance to move, but because it has less resistance to move, when you're moving the stick around, it takes a little bit longer to get back to center, costs you valuable seconds. And as opposed to this one, this is a 2-pound spring, like the stick comes right back. It just snaps back. All right, so. Now, one of the things I didn't mention on the short throw and the standard is that the threading, where you connect the ball here, is different. So on a short throw, make sure you get something that fits. Here I got a bat top. I like it. I got to get a green one to match my stuff, but whatever. All right, everyone. Now, if you have artwork or plexiglass that you're going to change out, do not put the stick back together yet. You're going to be super mad at yourself if you do not take all these buttons out. Take them all out, all of them. So I will commend Hitbox because they've done a way better job. They used to put these things here like on with the force of 1,000 suns, but now they're pretty easy. Just take your pliers, grab here at the chunk of it, not this part. If you grab this part, the thin part where the wire connects, you have a very good chance of breaking the entire button if you want to use the same button. So grab right behind the connection and just pull. Boom, right? All right, now we got all the wires off. Now what I find easiest to do is to take this screwdriver and then something else, right, and push on these little divots here, and then the button just pops out. All right. All right, now that we have all the buttons out, there's these rivets if you own a Hitbox product, okay? You'll see them, they're these little dimple things, okay? And they have like a ball, but then they also have like these 4 prongs eating the ball. Just take something and push the center and just push it out, okay? Whatever you choose, okay? It doesn't matter. There we go. Make sure you have them in place. Hold on, I'm talking. And just make sure you have them pulled down all the way so you can reinsert them again, okay? All right, I'm gonna open up the clear plastic part. Here. I'll show you this part first. But see, it's just clear, okay? Get the plastic off. One of the things to beware when you buy a clear plastic plexi with a Hitbox or cross up is that there's actually another layer of plastic on there. Wait. Oh, this one does not have that. All right, well, never mind. This is my first cross up, so all right. Just make sure there is no film cover on it, and then all you're gonna do is put your artwork under, or put your artwork on top of here, right? And then you're just gonna line up the holes and then push those rivets through. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, artwork is just plain. What do you do? Haha, because I'm not showing you yet. YouTube, right? Big reveal. All right, come on in and let's talk about buttons. So, in the cross-up, the Hitbox and the Smash boxes, they are defaulted to Sanwas. Most things tend to default to Sanwa. They're great buttons. Do not get me twisted. But I just don't like them. I have, if you haven't noticed, big gorilla hands, and I like to destroy things. The other thing is, the other thing with the Sanwas that the response feels different and weird. So I like things with mechanical buttons. Now, with something like the cross-up stick that I have, you'll see with the Sanwas, they just push out, which, you know, whoops, dude, we covered that, all right? And then mechanicals, these crowns that I bought, and in the description, I will put exactly which ones these are. They do screw on, you know. And then the other thing that I'm going to show you how to do is on the cross-up, it has these kinds of buttons to designate which are the default directional pad buttons. I like the rim being different than the color. And to show you, like, this is what I'm gonna do, right? You know, green default, all right? So I'm gonna show you how to change out the switches, because these little gray ones, they are what come with the crowns normally, but I like ones with clicks. So I got the blue ones, okay? Okay, we good? We good. All right, so first things first, mechanical. So behold my lovely artwork. Isn't it gorgeous? So in your standard sandwas, power comes up one of these cylinders, it doesn't matter. When you get to rewiring your controller, it does not matter if the red is on this one, the white is on this one, okay? Because what happens is the power is running through one of the wires. With your sand wand, you push on it, and then the sponge connects the post, and then on top of that, once it connects the post, there's a ground wire. So it kills the signal. There's no more power, and that's what tells your controller, like, punch, kick, explode, spark. And in the mechanicals, they work differently. So there's this metal hinge, right? Well, this part here is metal. This part here is also metal. And then the button kind of gets in the way, so they're not connected, right? So the power signal's still being shown. And then as you push down on the button, the plastic piece goes away to where the metal post contact, the signal itself browns out. You got punching, kicking, whatever. If you want to know what turbos are, that's all it is, okay? It just pulsates the signal for itself. So when you hold it down, when you turn on the turbo function, it just alternates like how fast the power is flickering on constantly. It's already doing it anyways, right? But when the power grounds out, it knows that you're actually like fully doing it. So anyways, whatever. So first thing you do, undo this, okay? Take your little flathead, push that, and just push it all the way out so you don't have to worry about it. Well, there you go. Usually you can get it up most of the way and then go over there and it comes out easy. All right, now on this, you'll see there's little tabs. This is gonna take some force, but push down on it. Like push the dent in and then use your finger and push it. See, it finally slipped. Go to the other side, same thing. Push in on it and push. Now let's see, I think I got it. Yep, came right out. That's awesome. All right, here we go. Now, you should be able to find a lip here and just get your flathead under and pop it out. See, switch comes right out. Now, I do want to talk about a couple things that tend to get people in trouble, so to speak. One of the things that people tend to mess up with when they switch out switches is the blades. They come out and they get pretty loose, like, easily. I can't really understate that, you know. So I don't mind when the cover here falls off, because I always like to go back and double check it and, you know, give them a nice little push in just to make sure they're there, okay? And it's easy to line it up. Look. Let's see. Can you see it? Can you see the... Yeah, see that square? See that square? Look. There's a square... there's like a square nub on this. Just line up the square nub with a square hole. Drop it in place. Boom. All right. Now, do you see... There's a hole here and a hole here. You're going to take your new switch and match up the blades to go into those holes, which would be this way for this one. So, and it just pops right in. Boom. All right. Next thing, we're going to take the base, the blades, if you match it up with the holes where the push or where the button top goes, that's all you need to do. Just make sure it's flat when you get it there, though. Whoops. There we go. Come on. Arrow. There. Because if you have it flat, it's easier to get it through the hole. As you can see, like, I don't have it even, so it's going to just, it's not worth the fight. All right. Well, at some point you'll line it up. There you go. See, like, now it's lined up. And just give it a push. You hear the click? It's good. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to do is take our plunger and just reconnect it. Get the tab lined up. All right, there we have it. We're good. All right, let's talk about reassembling your fight stick. So if you go into your box, you'll find that you had a dust cover and a rubber dust cover too, and it's gonna be a little bit greasy. And then this is my short throw. See, yay, so nice, gotta love them. This is what you'll do. First, take your dust cover, slide it on. Then grab the Rubbermaid, put the flat side on it to where it looks like this. Because if you have it the other way around, your stick will not work, because the reason that it's beveled and angled and stuff is so that the stick can move around freely. Okay, now what we'll want to do, that we have that done, come up underneath it. Whoops. And you know what? Just to make this easier for all of us, what I'm going to do is move the directional gate off so that we can all see what's going on here. Because don't worry, I can put it back on and everything. So, there, see? That's why I was telling you to get the bevel like that. Now, where did the little cover go? So now we'll slide the cover on with the high part, this part, let's see that? The flat top goes down first. All right, we're all having a good time. All right, now, take your brand new heavy tension spring, slide it on, and then take your oversized actuator, rest it on top. Don't fight with it yet, because you're gonna have enough of a fight in a second. And get that C-clamp that you popped off earlier, okay? Now, you're gonna fight it, push it down, and you should be able to get that C-clamp to re-grip the spot. If you need to, put the stick on the ground or something, or between your, I usually do it between my legs, but I'm trying to do this on a camera, so that's fun. So let me move that just out of the way. Out of the way just for a second. So it can rest on the table, so I have something to push against, if you will. Push all that down. Dog hair. Oversized actuator, you're gonna push it down. You're gonna have to hold it down so you can get the little slip exposed. Actually, here, I'm right-handed, so I should probably do it this way, huh? Like I said, I usually like to do this between my legs, so bear with me. Enjoy the struggle. Enjoy the pain and misery. All right. There you go. And you just got to get it on a little bit at first to where it like grips and stays. Like, you don't have to have it fully on at first, because you're probably not going to be able to do it with your bare hands. And if you can, you're awesome. You're strong. Good on you. But normally, most of us are going to have to just get it. You know what? 1 second, folks. Let me use my leg for a second, like I normally like to do. See, that's what I was talking about. The leg just seems to be easier. Now, don't leave it done that way. It's not done, and it's going to fall off, and then you're going to be mad. Take your pair of pliers and just give it a squeeze. Where is it? Get over it. Squeeze it. It'll just snap back into place. Now that will not fall off. Okay, so, and this is why I said don't worry about the gate or the directional buttons, because you can just slide it back on over it. It is fine. Okay, good. All right. So, what's left? Well, now our new gate. It will only go on one way because, you know, look, this is the wrong way. And there's no way to ever line that up. And it's usually the smooth side goes down with the two things sticking up. And you'll find out which way to go because it'll match up. Give it a good click, and there. That part is done. Look at that, and see, riding the wall. Yeah. All right, so now that I've gotten done with all that work, let me show you my final product. Uh-oh.